back to the channel. This is Clay Bierman. So if you'll recall, back in November I made a video about winterizing the Zero SR electric motorcycle. You can check that out here. It's now March 21st, about 4 months later since I've rode. Last time I rode was November 20th. And I'm getting the bike out of winter storage. I just wanted to talk about it. So, really quick, here are the things that I'm going to go over. Overall appearance, is it dirty? Did any animals make a nest in one of the crevices or anything? State of charge, Zero recommends keeping it between 30 and 60%. I had it at 60%, as you'll see in my video when I winterized it. And we'll check out the state of charge where it's at now, 4 months later. Tire condition, we'll go over the tires, see if there's any flat spots, anything crazy there. Does everything still work? Turn signals, brake lights, brakes. Obviously I just turned the bike on, you saw that. The bike is on, so go over that. And then will it charge? So Zero recommends that you charge the bike for 24 hours after it's been sitting for a long period of time, and I'll show that here, essentially, or while I'm talking about it. I thought it was just charge the bike up to 100%, let it fully charge and then go ride it, but it says you gotta charge it for 24 hours. So my mistake, if you wanna get your electric bike out of storage a day prior, just plug it in the day prior. But we're gonna plug it in, make sure it'll charge, so that's another thing that, see if it works, and I'll come back the next day, 24 hours later, take it for a ride. This is real professional. What's the difference between getting a ICE internal combustion engine, just a regular gas-powered motorcycle out of storage compared to this? Well, if I recall when I had my Harley, really the only major thing I would do is change the oil and filter. And you're probably supposed to do that before you put it in storage. I don't know, I just always used to do it at the beginning of a new riding season, essentially. So this, obviously there's no oil, this is brake fluid. So you don't need to change the oil. If you take the battery out of your regular gas-powered motorcycle, put that back in, put everything together. But really there's not much to do with this. You just plug it in for 24 hours, let it charge up, make sure your tires are good, make sure everything still works, clean it if you want to, and you're good to go. So without further ado, let's hit my first point, which is just the overall appearance of the bike. So overall appearance of the bike, I didn't put a cover over the bike just because, for one thing, my garage is pretty small, so that I only had about 6 inches to a foot between the bottom peg to the car when I backed up. So I didn't put a cover over it just so I could get the exact clearance of how far I was away from the bike, and so I didn't hit the bike. I don't think a cover is really necessary unless you just want to keep it, clean. I think a cover sometimes might actually hold in moisture that you don't want, whereas if it's open, it'll just kind of air out. But that's not scientific, that's not a fact, that's just something that's just what I think. Overall, you can see the bike's, it's filthy, okay? It's not filthy, it's just dusty, it's dirty. So, quick 30-minute, hour wash. Take a couple of the panels off, wash it down, good to go. Did any animals make a nest inside? No, not from what I see. Okay, so overall appearance, it's fine. You can check the belt. The belt's fine. It's not as tight as it normally is, but it's like 40 degrees in this garage. So next thing, state of charge. So there's something called phantom drain, and this happens to any battery. If it just sits, it'll slowly drain away. It just happens. So as you can see, I put this away at 60%, haven't plugged it in for 4 months, and it's at 53%. So that's 7% loss in 4 months. That's pretty good. I'm completely happy with that. So state of charge, it's good. Next thing, tire condition. So as I explained when I put the bike away, I like to, if I'm gonna store it for long periods of time, and I don't put it on a center stand, as you can see, because I don't have one, put about 40 PSI in each one, because the max it says 41 cold, probably could take more than that, but whatever. And I checked it periodically, let's say about once a month. Came out here, check the tire pressure. If they're a little low, fill them back in with my compressors. But they're fine. This is something more I can tell you more after I go ride the motorcycle. To see if there are any flat spots, or if it rides rough or smooth. But as you can see, the tires themselves, they look fine. Okay, next, does everything still work? And for this test here, before I go ride it, I'm going to just turn signals, horn, flashers, buttons, see if they all work. So let's start with the turn signals. They work, and this has been an issue for a while. Not really an issue. I mean, they still work, but they turn on, but the blinking mechanism that flashes them doesn't work. So I just do it manually, which is a pain in the ass, and it's something I could probably easily fix. I just haven't done it yet. Left turn signal works. Right turn signal works. Flashers all light up. Brake. Front brake works. Rear brake light works. Rear lights on. License plate lights on. Horn, that works. Brights work. Bright flasher works. kill switch. We'll find out when I go ride the bike. Mode button works. So from that simple test right there, everything works. So we're good. All right, this is the big one here. Will it charge? I don't see why it won't. Let's plug the bike in and see how she works. So this is where I store my bike normally. My car is usually right here. The Prius is right next to me that you can't see. Here's my trusty charging outlet. Oh, I had the bike on, so it didn't work like it normally does. It's charging. It's charging, I promise you. 52% says the bike will be charged 100% in 5 hours and 46 minutes. I'll probably go down once it warms up, but it works. So will the bike charge? Yes. And now I have to wait a long time. Okay, so that's the first half to probably 2/3 of this video. I'm gonna let it charge up, then I'm gonna put my riding gear on and take it out for a spin. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I've been watching videos on YouTube about this, just like motorcycle reviews, and I've watched videos about this specific bike. I watched my own videos, which is a total nerd YouTuber thing to do, but I got the itch. I want to go ride so bad, so looking forward to it. All right, I'll see you in 24 hours. Really quick, while the bike is charging up, it's about at 92% now. It's been about 3-4 hours since I plugged it in, but it's a sunny day. Obviously solar panels in the background. My car is charging, my motorcycle is charging, and the solar panels are still pumping out energy into the grid, which is pretty cool. Here, let me show you. That means it's going out into the grid. If we're going to the house, that little arrow right there will be pointed that way. Bike's plugged in, car's plugged in. Yeah. I just stopped myself and remembered that I think people know what I'm talking about, but I just need to clarify. So when I say my car is plugged in charging and my bike's plugged in charging and my panels are still pumping out energy into the grid, that means that my car and my bike are essentially charging, and the house, whatever's on in the house, is running via the power in the sun. Anything that is drawing energy from the house, including my car and my motorcycle, that gets electricity first, and then whatever the remainder, whatever is left over that I'm overproducing, goes back into the grid. If my car is charging and my bike's charging, and we're running let's say the air conditioner's running and the dryer's running, no matter how sunny it is, all that power is going to be drawing more than what the panels are producing, so that whatever more we need other than the panels will be drawn from the grid. So kind of like the opposite of if I'm overproducing. So if I'm underproducing, I just pull from the grid. So if my requirements are 8 kilowatts at a certain moment and my panels can only produce 5.9 max output kilowatts, then whatever that remainder is, I'll pull from the grid. So yeah, that's how it works essentially. Pretty cool. But it's just cool to think that I'm charging my car and my bike from the power of the sun essentially. Okay, it's the next day. Bike's charged 100%. Let's get it out, check the tires, and then go for a ride. Just riding the bike out of the garage, I didn't feel any lumps in the tires, so as far as flat spots go, it's probably okay. They're both overinflated to about the same PSI, so that's good. Well, let's fire up and go for a ride. $107.9 stated miles of range. Oh yeah. Well, there it is. That's what it takes to get the Zero out of storage after 4 months of just sitting there in my garage. Yeah, it works great. plenty of sunlight. I think I'm gonna go for another ride. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.